Another nice thing about our Thrive food is the convenience. How many of you like to wash and chop your veggies? Maybe you love pulling your meat out of the freezer and having it be a big block of ice that you have to thaw in the microwave, only to have half of it already cooked before you have a chance to cook it. Or maybe having to sanitize your counters after you worked with chicken. Oh, yeah, I remember doing that many times. I don't know about you, but I much prefer to scoop out of my can the ingredients that I need for dinner without having to wash and chop, defrost, or do much cooking. It is already done for you. I have used more veggies in my meals because I do not have to prep them, like, say, maybe my morning omelet. I love having onions in my eggs, but the thought of having to chop it up and cry from the fumes makes me want to skip the onions. I really can do without it, right? Be honest, who else does this? With Thrive, I have that can of onions just sitting on my pantry shelf, just patiently waiting for me to use them. Thrive is like having a sous chef in your kitchen who preps everything for you. Thrive has convenience down pat. I must say, my kitchen knives hardly get used. I don't even think my youngest son even knows what a knife is. Another way that Thrive saves my life is the last minute trips to the grocery store. Have you ever started making a meal and realized that you're missing an item for the recipe? So you run to the grocery store for that one item. And once you're there, you see something that's on sale. So you have to buy that. And then you see something else that you just have to have. And then $100 later, you leave the store thinking, crap, that was an expensive trip for only needing one item. Those impulse buys are killer to the wallet, plus the gas that I spent back and forth to get there. Thrive helps me to stop those extra purchases because I have everything that I need on my pantry shelf. Okay, now here's a scenario that happened to me before Thrive, and you tell me if this has ever happened to you. I was making baked potato soup for dinner one night, and I went to my fridge to grab the green onions that I knew I had bought a few days ago for this very recipe. When I pulled them out, can you guess what they look like? They were almost unrecognizable. It was a green, very slimy mess in the bag, and they were crushed under the cabbage that was put on top of them in the crisper drawer. I was really bummed because this soup really tasted so much better with fresh green onions, and the little grocery store near my house was already closed. So I remembered that I had a can of Thrive green onions in the back of my pantry that I had bought a couple months ago, and I honestly did not know if they would even be any good. But I was desperate and was willing to try. I opened the can and holy cow, the freshness and bright color really impressed me. And I thought I would give it a try and see if my family would notice a difference in the recipe and not using the fresh green onions that I usually use. My husband, the food snob that he is, said, "This is really good, hun." And that to me means he didn't notice. They were delicious. So how many times have you thrown away food because it went bad before you had a chance to use it? Did you know that an average home throws away between 25 and 40% of their grocery budget? That is over $2,000 a year. Wow, right? I do not like to waste food, but sometimes you get the produce home and there's already one or two of the items that are bad before you ever have a chance to use it. Do you like to throw away your hard-earned money? I do not think anyone does. So tell me, what food do you waste the most? Comment below. I'm curious to know. So now to show you the versatility of our food. You could eat the products dry, right out of the can, which I often do, and also make trail mixes, or just snacks to keep in my bag. But you can also powder the food, which is a great way to sneak veggies into recipes, and kids have no idea. I make kale brownies all the time, and my kids do not know. I also add the powdered fruit to yogurt, or I will add a little sugar and water to the powdered fruit to make a sauce for pancakes or ice cream. I will often take the fruit and add it to my water for a great drink. Add it to icing for natural color and flavor. It's perfect for smoothies, and you only have to add ice and water or your liquid of choice. It also makes amazing baby food without the added sugar, salt, or preservatives. I even make meals in a jar, which are super handy for the days that you just need a fast one-pot meal, and you just add water, boil about 10 minutes, and you're done. It's that easy.